Why we struggle with change. Let me ask you something. Have you ever decided to change something in your life and then quietly return to your old habits? Maybe you plan to wake up early, start exercising, improve your English, or become more disciplined. You felt motivated. At first, you made a plan. You told yourself, this time I will do it. But after a few days, or maybe even a few hours, something changed. Your energy dropped. Your routine broke. And slowly, you went back to what felt familiar. And then came that one thought, why is this so hard? If you've ever felt this way, you are not alone. Change sounds simple, but in reality, it feels uncomfortable, slow, and sometimes even frustrating. So today, we are going to explore something deeply important. Why do we struggle with change? What is happening inside our mind when we try to change something? And most importantly, how can we make change feel easier and more natural? So, stay with me till the end, because once you understand this, you will stop blaming yourself and start understanding yourself. Understanding change. It's not just a decision. Let's begin with a simple but important idea. Change is not just a decision. Many people believe that change happens when we decide on something. I will wake up early. I will stop procrastinating. I will become more productive. But if change was only about decisions, it would be easy. The truth is, change is not just mental. It is emotional. It is physical. And it is deeply connected to habits. Your brain does not simply follow your decisions. It follows what feels safe and familiar. And this is where the struggle begins. The brain loves familiarity. Your brain has one main goal: to keep you safe. And one way it does this is by choosing what is familiar. Even if something is not perfect, if it is familiar, it feels comfortable. For example, scrolling your phone, sleeping late, avoiding difficult tasks. These habits may not be helpful, but they are known. Your brain understands them. Now, when you try to change something, you are stepping into the unknown, and the brain reacts. It says, this is different, this is uncomfortable, let's go back. This is not a weakness. This is biology. Change feels uncomfortable, and that's normal. One of the biggest reasons people give up on change is discomfort. When you try something new, it doesn't feel natural. It feels slow, it feels difficult, it feels tiring. For example, if you start exercising after a long break, your body resists. If you try to focus without distractions, your mind feels restless. If you try to wake up early, your body wants to sleep more. This discomfort is not a sign that something is wrong. It is a sign that something is changing. Growth often feels uncomfortable at the beginning, but many people misunderstand this feeling. They think, this is not for me, I can't do this, and they stop. The habit loop. To understand change better, we need to understand habits. Every habit has three parts: a cue, a routine, a reward. For example, you feel bored, cue, you check your phone, routine, you feel entertained, reward. This loop repeats again and again. Now, when you try to change a habit, you are breaking this loop, and the brain doesn't like that, because it is used to getting the reward in a certain way. So it creates resistance. This is why change feels difficult at the beginning. The fear of uncertainty. Another reason we struggle with change is uncertainty. Change brings unknown results. What if this doesn't work? What if I fail? What if things get worse? These questions create hesitation. Even if your current situation is not perfect, it feels predictable, and predictability feels safe. But change requires stepping into something unclear, and that uncertainty can feel uncomfortable. The myth of motivation. Many people believe that motivation is the key to change. They think, I will start when I feel motivated. But motivation is not stable. It comes and goes. Some days you feel excited. Some days you feel tired. If you depend only on motivation, change becomes inconsistent. Real change happens through systems and habits, not temporary feelings. Why we return to old habits. This is something many people experience. You start something new. You feel good for a few days. Then suddenly, you stop. Why? Because old habits are easier. They require less effort. Your brain already knows them. So when energy is low, the brain chooses the easier path. This is natural, but it doesn't mean you have failed. It simply means your old pattern is still strong. Making change easier, practical approach. Now let's talk about how to make change feel more manageable. Not perfect, just easier. 1. Start small and stay consistent. Big changes feel exciting, but small changes are sustainable. Instead of trying to change everything at once, focus on one small habit. For example, study for 15 minutes instead of 2 hours, walk for 10 minutes instead of 1 hour. Small steps reduce resistance, and consistency builds confidence. 2. Focus on identity, not just actions. Instead of saying, I want to exercise, say, I am becoming someone who takes care of health. This shifts your mindset. Change becomes part of who you are, not just something you do. 3. Accept slow progress. Change takes time. There will be slow days. There will be mistakes. And that is okay. Progress is not always visible immediately, but small actions create long-term results. 4. Reduce friction. Make new habits easier. If you want to read, keep a book nearby. If you want to study, prepare your space in advance. The easier the action, the more likely you are to do it. Don't wait for perfect days. Some days will feel good. Some days will feel difficult. Do the task anyway, even if it's small. Consistency matters more than intensity. 5. The real shift. The real change happens when you stop expecting change to feel easy and start accepting that discomfort is part of the process. When you understand this, something powerful happens. You stop quitting too early. You stay a little longer. You try one more time. And slowly, the new habit becomes familiar. Final reflection. Change is not something that happens in one moment. It happens through repeated actions, through patience, through understanding your own mind. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to continue. Before we end today's episode, think about one small change you want to make. Not something big, just one small step. Now ask yourself, can I do this today, even if it feels uncomfortable? Because real change doesn't begin with confidence. It begins with action. Small, simple action. Thank you for spending this time with me. If you enjoy these calm and meaningful English podcasts, consider subscribing to the channel, and I'll see you in the next episode. Until then, be patient with yourself, stay consistent, and keep moving forward.